All right, everybody, Gabe Jenkins back with you to work on number 18. We're going to do the walkthrough here. We already did the overview. So in the overview, we talked about the importance of construction lines. I'm going to make a vertical one, a horizontal one, a couple more construction lines here. It's just to locate the center point of that circle. And I'm going to create a construction layer circle here so that I know where to start my center point of that circle right there. We talked about how we're going to use our polar array tool because we're going to need to be able to make copies of that circle and make them go around, rotate around this center point right there, which is going to be the origin in my drawing. I'm going to rotate it around that center point 180 degrees, and I'm going to have 6 of those elements. Anyway, I kind of talked about all that. The explode tool is something that's going to be helpful for this drawing. Explode lets you take the entire array and explode it into separate elements so that if you want to trim parts of it away, you can. So that's going to be useful as well. So let's get started. I'm in the millimeter template and I'm in the construction layer right here. So I'm going to start off by making that circle that goes around here, that locates the center point of those 6 circles right there. So it says it has a diameter of 100. So here, let me zoom in a little bit. That seems good. I'm going to make my hole. Well, is this on the correct layer? Let's see. Okay, now it is on the correct layer. All right. Just make sure I'm staying. Let me stay on my construction layer here. Okay. I'm going to make a construction line, a vertical one and a horizontal one, so I can start to locate stuff. So this is my vertical and my horizontal one, and my other construction lines I'm going to do is just so I can locate that center point here. So it's down 100 because I know that the radius, it's down 50 because I know that the diameter of this circle is 50 and it goes over 50 as well. So I'm going to make 2 more lines and I'm going to start here, go down 50 and I'm going to go over 50. That's going to be the center point of that circle there. So I think that's all the construction lines I need, and I'm going to start to create my drawing now. I'm going to go over to the visible layer because all the rest of it I think is going to be all visible. I'm going to start by making this little circle right here. So I know it is right here, which is where I told it I wanted it to be. Well, let me see. I might need to start off on the construction layer just so I can locate it. And it has, what does it have? It has a radius of 8. So here. So the reason I went back to the construction layer, just to be clear, is that it wasn't letting me lock onto the intersection of those 2 points when I was in the visible layer. And so what I'm going to, I could go, I guess, to the 0 layer. That would probably let me do it as well. But I wanted to go here, so I'm going to create the circle with that exact intersection as the center point, and then I'm going to click on that thing and move it over to the visible layer. All right, so that's 8, with a radius of 8. Okay, let me zoom back out. Does that look right? Does that look right? Oh, I'm sorry, it was a radius of 6, my bad. Misread the diagram. Another circle, radius 6. Yeah, I thought I looked wrong. All right, the next one out has a radius of 8. So let's see, I could, let me first move this over to the visible layer. Now I could, what makes sense? Do I want to do all of these elements and then move them all or not? No, you know what? I'm not. I'm going to just take this guy and I'm going to make the polar array first. So, all right, so I'm going to click on my array, polar, click it, enter, and my center point it's asking me for is right here. All right, now here's where I get to change some of these things. I still want there to be 6 elements, but instead of going 360 around, I want it to go 180 around. It makes it go this direction. I don't want it to go that direction, so I'm going to switch the direction by clicking on this up here. Switches the direction, and that looks right. So I'm going to exit out, and we're cool. We are good to go. All right. Next, I want to create all of these little outer circles right here. So I'm going to go back to my circle, and this one has a radius of 8. Just slightly larger. I'm in the wrong layer again. Keeps for some reason moving me back here. All right. And so I'm going to start to delete part of this. I don't want this whole thing to get moved around. I don't want this part or this part. And I'm only gonna really want, let's see, I'm only gonna want that little edge right there to go around. So let me go ahead and make this outer circle right now, so that way I can trim away the parts I don't want. It says it has a radius of 56. So I'm gonna go 56. Is that right? Yep, that looks right. But for some reason it continues to move me back. Don't know why. All right. I'm going to trim away some of these parts that I don't want that part. I don't want that part. And I'm not going to want that part or that part. All right. So the reason I did all that was so that I can just take this element right here and rotate that around. So I'm going to do polar array, and I'm going to do center point, same center point, same number, but I'm going to make it 180 degrees again, and I'm going to switch the direction again. It keeps wanting to take me in the other direction. All right, so that looks good. I'm going to close the array, trim away the parts I don't want. You've watched me enough to know that this is the part where I usually mess something up. Trimming away stuff. All right. Okay. One more to go. That's done, and that's done. Okay. All right. Out of the trim tool. Now let's create this interior element here. And it has a diameter of 24, a radius of 12. Make another circle. Make sure I'm on the visible layer for some reason. There we go. 12. All right. Trim away the parts I don't want. All right, so let's see. I want there to be a visible line here now so that I know this, if there's this extra little edge in here. All right, so I need to make one more, and this one's going to again have a radius of 50. And now it's over the construction line, but it's still there. So I'm going to trim away the parts I don't want, like I don't want. Let's see, I don't want that. I don't want that. That. Now I'm going to take that semicircle right there, and again, polar array it around. Click that, make that go around, and central, hit enter to select that thing. Here, make it go 180 degrees around, just like we had. Switch the direction, close, cool. Now, I'm going to make my fillet radii. It says they all have a fillet radius of 2. Actually, you know what? Do I need to trim away more part of my circle? I need to trim away more part of my circle. All right, so let me trim away this, this. I think that's good enough. I think that is good enough. All right, now I need to fillet. Fillet, radius 2. Multiple. Move this over here so I can see it. Multiple. And I'm going to do that and that. Why is it not doing it? Okay, here's where I need to do my explode. Because it thinks that this element right here is all the element. You can see as I go over it, right? It's highlighting the whole thing. It thinks of this whole thing as one element. So I'm going to click on this, and in my command bar, I'm going to type explode. It now thinks of each of these things as a separate element. All right, so that's going to allow me to do my fillets individually. So I'm going to go multiple now. Hopefully it will work. Yep. AutoCAD is fun. I'll tell you what, you can just like think about how long, how hard this, how tedious this would be to do this by hand. You can just click on things to make a perfectly rounded radius fillet. It's great. All right, so I think we're getting close. So I think all of the upper part is now done. I just kind of need to make this, I'm going to make this bottom part right here, and then I'm going to mirror it over to the right side. So I'm going to start here. I know that, let's see, if I make a construction line over so that it stops right here at a radius of 56. If I make a construction line over 56, why 56, Mr. Jenkins? Well, because my circle, that outermost circle, has got a radius of 56, and I'm trying to get a point right here, but I've already kind of erased where this is. So I'm going to create a line that goes from here over by 56, and that's going to be where that starts now. All right, so now I'm going to go over to my visible layer again, and I'm going to go back. Gotta go my construction layer, or maybe my zero layer. Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna make a line. I'm trying to make this line that goes down. Okay. Actually, you know what? Why don't I start by just making the circle first? Why don't I start by making the circle first? The circle here has a radius of 6, so I'm going to just locate that, make a circle of 6. Does that look wrong? That looks wrong to me. Undo that circle. Has a radius of 6. It does have a radius of 6. Is that actually right? Looks weird. I'm going to go ahead and check my measurements up here. It's got a radius of 6. All right. I guess that's the same size. It just doesn't look the same size. All right. I'm going to trust it. All right. So now I'm going to make this that kind of bigger circle right there, which I know has a radius of 24. Was it? Yeah, diameter 24. Radius 12. All right. So I'm going to go radius of 12. All right. Now, I need to make this line that comes down, and I need to make this line that comes down as well and intersects there. So I'm going to make all of those happen right now. Let's start with the line that comes down here. We know that it goes straight from here, goes straight up. So I'm going to make a line that goes from here until it intersects with that circle. Okay. And I'm going to make one that intersects with right here and goes straight down. Make it connect all the way down here. All right, let's trim away the parts I don't want. I don't want this. I'm not going to want that. Let's see, I want this to go away. What else do I need to go away? I want that to go away. Maybe that's it. Get rid of that. That's starting to look right. All right, I need to make one more little thing, which is that little circle here, which is radius of 8, if I remember correctly. Let's hope I remember correctly. That looks right. All right, I'm going to trim away that part right there and that part right there. All right. Almost done. I gotta just switch a couple of things, fill it a couple of corners, and then I can mirror it over and I'll be done. All right, so again, all the fillets are 2, it says in the diagram. Multiple, because it's got 2 to do, so I need to do this corner with that one, and that one with that one, and I think we're good to go. It's still a little messy. I think let me trim some. That's. Why won't it let me do this? Is this because this is also, Mr. Jenkins? It rears its ugly head one more time. So just to see, I was trying to trim that tiny little piece, but if you see, it still thinks that this whole thing is, this whole series of outer little arcs is one array still. And so it's not letting me trim it because then it's going to trim the whole thing away. So it's saying, can't do that. So I'm going to click on that one more time and hit explode. And now it should let me trim just one little part away. Let me just see if I roll over this. Yes, now it just thinks that that is one little thing. So now I can trim that little piece and we're good to go. All right, I think we're about done. And I think I just need to select the elements, mirror them over, and then do some final trims. All right, so I'm gonna say mirror. I want that to go, that to go. Zoom in here because I don't want to miss any fillet corners or anything. I think that is everything I want to mirror. So once I do hit the enter tool, now I got to tell it where to mirror from. Let's go from here to here. That looks good. Does it? No, it doesn't look exactly right, does it? All right. Something was off about that. I'm not sure if you see what I'm seeing here. I hope you do. If I just take this one element here and mirror it, and I say, I wanted to, I just wanted to go, if I look at this, it doesn't actually line up just the way I want it to. So I must have done something a little off. Huh, what did I do that's a little bit off? Hmm. That was my problem. Okay, so we're gonna try to create this lower element down here, and then I'm gonna try to mirror it over to the other side. So I'm gonna start off by making my little circle here, and then this part, and then this bigger circle again, so kind of trying to mimic what I did up here. And then I'm gonna create my two straight down vertical lines, and then kind of trim away the parts I don't want and fill with the parts that I do. All right, so let's start with the circle, and the smallest circle has a radius of 6. The next one out has a radius of 8. And the next one has a radius of 12. All right, so those are done. I'm going to create my downward lines that are going to go from the left quadrant here down to the left quadrant here. Let's see, and then maybe extend a little farther past that. All right, so zoom in here. I have my quadrants selected. It's not showing me my quadrant. Let me just get rid of this line here for a second. All right, my quadrant should show up as a quadrant. There we go. Quadrant down to quadrant. And then in a minute, I'm going to extend that a little bit farther down. All right, then from here, I'm going to go from the center point up. So from the center point here until it intersects here. Just make sure that looks right. Yep. Okay. Ah, I see. It actually was slightly. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to trim away a lot of things that I don't need anymore. All right. So I'm going to trim away. I don't need this or this. I don't need this outer one there. Oh, trimmed away too much. I'm going to undo that. So I'm just going to type in undo. How many do I want to do? Undo 1. All right. I need to extend this line a little bit more. So I'm going to take here. I'm going to extend it until it gets all the way down to this line there. All right. So I'm going to extend that one and until it gets to there. Now I can trim away the parts I don't want. All right. So I'm going to get rid of this part. See, now that leaves me with that. All right. Get rid of that. That. All right, one more. All right, got rid of all of that. I'm going to fill it the stuff. Let me trim away one more thing here. Get rid of that. That looks right to me. Now I need to fill it some corners. Fill it with a radius of 2, and I need to do from here to here, and yeah, that one as well. Okay, all that's done. So now I just need to mirror it. So I'm going to mirror it from that element, that element, that one, that one. Make sure I pick up my two little fillet corners. Fillet corners, that's it. What is my mirror line? Stop. Okay. Here, let me zoom out a little bit so I can do my mirror line a little bit better. Oh my goodness, Mr. Jenkins, you keep messing up. Okay. Enter. My mirror line, I want to be from here. We'll say 2, let me zoom in. There. Do I want anything some source? No. Okay. And so I think one more trim line, trim this one, And I believe we are now done. All right, so at this point, I would go ahead and whoa, one more trim. One more trim. That little element there needs to be trimmed. I think we're done. Just to see what it looks like without my construction layer on. Does that look right? Like I said, like I ask you to do every single time. I want you to look at it, right? Just look at it. Does anything strike you as being weird? I'm not seeing anything right now. Maybe that is that weird? No, it's just a weird effect of the. All right, looks good. So now at this point, I'm going to ask you to center point your circles uh, and dimension it, just like you've been doing all of your drawings. Everything needs to be dimensions. Center points have center points on them. And at that point, you are good to go. All right, everybody, have a great day.